Hey, am I excited to be here today? It has been an amazing couple of weeks. First of all, I have kept my promise. I have been working very hard on Mary Loved Daisies. The proof copy is ready. We are doing all the final things. If we can just focus on this, check this out. Here is the cover of the brand new book, Mary Loved Daisies, The Diary Poems of Jim E. Light. Check out the model, check out the cover, check out the book. And, oh my God, wait till you hear what today's show is all about. We not only have two singers, songwriters, but wait until you hear what one of the songs is about. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Vin Dacquino. Our guests are Susan Wright and Steve Kirkman. Hey, welcome. Such a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
I heard your CD. I fell in love with your CD, especially because one of the songs is about someone who is very near and dear to my heart.
That's right.
The great Sybil Ludington. Mm-hmm. You two do such a wonderful job in singing it. And today, you're going to present that song for our audience. But before you do that, who are you? What do you do? Tell me a little bit about who you are. You have an interesting background. You're not really, you don't put bread on the table with your guitar.
No, I don't. I put bread on the table teaching music. Oh, it's okay. No, I love teaching. I've been teaching in public school for 10 years now, and I'm just moving. I finally graduated to middle school, so it's going to be a big year for me.
But, you know, my heart's there. I taught middle school for like 30 years. Love middle school. You're going to love it, and you're going to be wonderful.
I'm looking forward to it.
Sounds good. And Steve, welcome.
Hi, glad to be here. I'm also a singer-songwriter. That is primarily what I do, other than household plumbing, things like that.
Oh, right. And you, and tell me, how did this relationship happen? Did you happen to hear each other somewhere, or how did that come about?
It was through a mutual friend.
Oh, great.
When I put out the CD,
here we go.
I sent it, and the song that we're going to do today is on there. I sent it to a friend of ours named Fred Gillen Jr., and he suggested that we play all together. Remember that? Sure. And that was a few years ago. And we did, and we just kind of stayed playing together because we're both really interested in a lot of the same types of music, and there were some events that we played
I have to tell you, I took a 3.5-hour ride with my two grandchildren. And I had this with me, and I threw it in. And you got the best compliment that two kids could ever give. When it was done, they said, "Put it on again, Papa."
Oh, yeah,
so
that's a good
there
one.
was. So
yeah, my kids don't say that.
Well, it's a great CD. Now, tell me a little bit more about how did you get involved in music and songwriting?
Well, I've always been playing music. My mother, my aunt, and my grandmother taught me to play piano when I was a little kid.
Oh, wow.
And I always played.
And how did you go from piano to guitar?
I don't really play this thing very well. That's why I brought Steve along.
Oh, there you go. Back up.
Yeah, I kind of just taught myself
All
guitar.
right, well, you sound fine to me.
Oh, thank you.
So, I'm excited on another level. Wait until you hear the backstory for the song on Sybil Ludington. Go ahead. Hit them with it.
Okay. Well, let's see. 7 years ago, I started teaching in Beacon Public School, elementary school. And one day, while I was teaching a first grade class, the phone rang, and it was Pete Seeger.
Oh my God.
He wanted to speak to the music teacher. So I had a little chat with him, and I had the class sing a song. We just happened to be singing something about the Hudson River.
Wow.
And ever since that day, we sort of became friends, and he would come to my classroom and sing with my students a lot.
Wow.
And one day,
What a treat.
my cell phone rang when I was in Carmel Shop, Wright. I was just coming out, and it was like kind of a rainy-ish day, and it was Pete. And I started talking to him on the cell phone, and he never stopped talking. We talked for like over an hour. During that time, rain started coming down, thundering, and I was just standing there talking to him. And finally, he asked me where I was, and I told him, oh, I live in Carmel. And he said, oh, Susan. That's where they have that beautiful statue of Sybil Ludington.
Wow.
Someone should write a song about her. So I said,
Yep.
Pete Seeger
That'd
said
be
that?
me.
Well, that would be a good idea. I should take his advice. So I wrote a song called Sybil Ludington, and I wrote all the music notes to it. See, this is why it's good to pay attention in music class.
Yeah, there you go.
So you can do this someday. And I sent it to Pete Seeger. Well, lo and behold, he sent it back to me.
So all these little editing marks are from Pete Seeger.
Yeah, he sent it back to me. He made all kinds of corrections on my notes. He fixed it up a lot. He changed some of the words, and he even added a verse because he decided, even though most women would be riding side saddle back in that day of Sybil Ludington, that she wouldn't have gotten to do that. So
And plus, it was a pouring rain.
it would have been
dirt
too dangerous.
roads, It
Yeah.
would have been dangerous. She would
Yeah.
have fallen off that horse.
So
I
he
agree.
he really had Sybil on his mind. And he was the one who suggested starting the song, Daughter, Oh Daughter, Come Help Me. It's actually a song written from the father's point of view.
Yeah, very unusual. So it's the Colonel's point of view.
Yes.
And the song is about his daughter.
Colonel Henry Ludington. Do you want to tell them a little just quickly about Sybil Ludington?
Yeah.
Because there might be people that don't know her
For
story.
those of you, I mean,
He's the expert, that's
I've done
why.
this story so many times
Yeah,
that it's hard to believe that no one out there would know it, but here is the story. 1777, pouring rain. Danbury is attacked by General Tryon of the British. They're looking for help. They go out in all different directions. One of the directions was, of course, Sybil's house, because her father is colonel, head of the entire neutral territory. He's like the chief of police. So they go there, they ask him to please help. Danbury's burning. They have no one to send. They choose. Sybil says, Father, send me. Reluctantly, he puts her on a horse, puts a stick in her hand to bang on the shutter so she doesn't have to get off the horse each time. And off she goes, 40 miles through the countryside. By the time she gets back, her father's 400 men have gathered. Off they go toward Danbury, but Tryon's already out of Danbury. He goes through Connecticut, and they catch up with him. There is a huge battle in Ridgefield, Connecticut, and off they go. So she is a hero. She is a female Paul Revere, or Paul Revere is a male Sybil Ludington.
Paula Revere, maybe. Huh?
There you go. So you took this story and you made it legend, put it into verse. I can't wait any longer. I want to hear this.
Let's play the song.
Again.
Sybil Ludington. And remember, when we sing that verse about her left shoe going in the stirrup, that's directly from Pete. Pete loved to do songs about history. That's another thing that he was really good at.
Pete is history himself.
Exactly, but he knew so much history. Yeah. Every time, every conversation, you would learn something. It was amazing. Daughter, oh daughter, come help me. I somehow must gather my men. With burning already in Danbury, our small towns we must defend. Her eyes, they glistened like raindrops. They sparkled like stars through the glass. On that radiant, dark April evening, she said, Father, I'll do as you ask. And so I went out to the stable to prepare to send her away. My daughter with eyes like stars in the skies, I knew not if she'd live the next day. The horse was rolling a wild eye from the lightning up in the sky. I bridled and saddled and stroked him. I whispered, don't let her die. Then I turned, I heard her footsteps. Through the rain she came to the barn. There my daughter she stood, brave as she could. I prayed God keep her from harm. Her left shoe she put in the stirrup, and over her horse swung her right. And firmly balanced she flashed me a smile. No side saddle for her this night. The sound of their hoofbeats receded till all that I heard was a rain. I had never shared my doubts with her, nor brought them to life with my pain. From Pecksdale to Carmel to Mayapack, from the falls to the mines to the cliffs, from the mills where the rain poured down from the hills, 40 treacherous miles of what ifs. My Sybil, she rode in the forest, and she rode over fields. My Sybil, she gathered my men to me, and our towns, they never did yield. My Sybil, she gathered my men to me, and our towns, they never did yield. My Sybil, she gathered my men to me, and our towns, they never did yield.
Whoa.
Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. It really is an excellent song. And I'm tickled pink that Pete Seeger cared enough about the story and about Sybil to want her to become part of history. Pete Seeger is history himself. So you must have been thrilled to hear back and hear what he had to do. Did it take a lot to get this together? I mean, were you a little nervous about it?
Yeah, it's funny. Pete always made me feel very comfortable.
Yeah.
I didn't feel nervous when I was in his presence, and all the conversations we had, I really treasured them all. Sometimes if we were on the phone, I'd actually take notes to write down what he was saying so I could remember it better. But this was the first thing that I really, sent to him and said, hey, you want to take a look because it was your idea. So do you want me to read you the letter that he wrote back?
Please do. This is a letter
Okay.
from Pete Seeger to you.
Yes. October 18th, 09. Susan! Exclamation point. He's kind of like you. I tried singing through your ballad of Sybil Ludington and found myself changing a word here and a word there and made up a couple additional verses. Now I wish I could locate the book giving the names of the towns she passed through during her 8 or 10 hour all-night horse ride, if we can stop 'em in Danbury. Now I send it all back to you, and you can change words or music back or forward as you think best. You made a very basically good framework, the father telling the story in the first person. I send it all to you, your messed up original. He meant all the red marks that he put on it, and my rewrites of melody and verses. I've kept a copy to try singing locally, the Sloop Club maybe. See you, Old Pete, and he drew a little picture of a banjo, and he said, P.S., thank you for running things September 27th.
Wow.
Because we had sing-alongs and stuff like that
Yeah.
up in Beacon.
About a year and a half ago, I brought my 2 grandchildren to the music festival in Beacon. And we went to a couple of the little stands, and then we heard commotion going on the field. So someone was playing music. We went over, and lo and behold, there he was, surrounded by children,
Yeah.
and then my 2. And they were mesmerized. So they had the wonderful opportunity to actually meet him. Unfortunately, he has now passed.
Yeah.
But his spirit will live on forever. I was thrilled. 2 days ago, I got a phone call, and they said, Vin, would you like to talk about your books on the Clearwater? I said, are you serious? And they said, yeah, in October. So in October, I'm going to go up on the Clearwater. I've been there before. I've done it before. But I'm going back again to do it again because he just, I mean, he's a symbol of America. He's a symbol of the good things that we need to hold dear.
Yes.
You thrill me too because you helped to put this to music. I hope people everywhere get to hear this song. I hope it goes out to where it needs to go. And question is, this isn't all you do. You've done other songs and you're still working and you're a songwriter as well. Tell us a little bit about the other songs that you do, and because this isn't the only one. You have other songs?
Oh, sure. I've been writing songs for a while, and it's a really great hobby. I write songs about people that I know, and I write songs about things that I care about too. Some of them can be political in nature. And I try to, when I play, I don't play out very often, but once in a while I do. If I think that a group has a really good cause and they ask me to play for an event, then I'll play. And oftentimes I'll ask Steve to come along because his songs are very much along that nature too.
Steve, tell me about your songs. What are some of the songs that you've written? What are they about?
Well, in the context of this conversation, I have a lot of songs. Since moving up here back in 2000 to the Hudson Valley and getting into this really supportive music scene up here, and the folk scene, obviously, with Pete in our back door was pretty vibrant. So immediately hooking up with, even before meeting Susan, a lot of the folk singers around here, the coffee shop players. So it's easy to get caught up in that wave of folk music. And
so you knew Pete as well? Have you ever met him?
Yes,
Oh,
many times. Many times. Took him home, sang with him at Clearwater, and so my songs took on, with him being that close, you couldn't help but be influenced by him, and all. Certainly, his songwriting. All songwriters are influenced by him. But the classics, just pop songs, Turn, Turn, Turn. But the others, there's a lot of other songs that you don't know of his, and poems he's written that are pretty astounding. But his personal life and just being around him is more influencing on I think myself and some songwriters than even the songs.
Writers often have themes. Now, many of my books are bibliotherapeutic.
Right.
I write them to try to help people understand things about themselves and about the people they love. What are your themes? What would you say, the messages that you're trying to deliver to the public? Well, what do you focus on? I know Pete. Pete also. I mean, he was trying to bring people together. He was part of that wonderful peace movement. And, is that where you're coming from?
Somewhat, yes. And also, I think I write some songs from personal experience. Like, I've written a couple songs about my kids and just the experience of being a parent and stuff like that. Sort of the human experience, what we all go through. Songs maybe about losing somebody. As you get older, some people that you care about really.
Yeah, that
pass
the Mary Love Daisies. This new book that I'm doing is it's about dealing with death. A 12-year-old boy whose best friend and girlfriend, next door neighbor, dies in a fire. And he's devastated. And he has to come to grips with the fact that we do lose people we love.
Yeah.
And this book will help children to cope with death. Kiss the Candy Days Goodbye was the story of a kid with diabetes. And what happens when you have a best friend who is facing something like diabetes, or yourself? How do you deal with suddenly finding out that you're different? Mm-hmm. And one of the messages is we're all different. In one way, shape, or form, we're all different. It's how you deal with that difference that will make all the difference in the world.
That's right. And, you know, Pete really believed that even though we're so different, when we sing together, when we make music together,
brings us together.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
it's a common factor.
He wanted to pass that on to the younger generation, which I think he's done very successfully. And he really wanted all of us to keep that going.
Now, will you share your music with your middle school students?
It depends on the time of year. I'm not doing it in September.
Yeah.
Probably
I mean, you have a curriculum.
Exactly.
You have to follow your curriculum. I understand that.
Probably towards the end of the year. The Sybil Ludington song, actually, when I was in elementary school, I taught it in 4th grade.
Oh, that's
because
great.
we did a unit. They were doing Colonial America.
Yeah.
So
she's now part of the New York State curriculum in history. So I go to 4th grades all around,
Yep.
you know, to talk to them about her. Because, you know, we have to realize that heroes aren't black or white or young or old. Heroes come in all shapes and sizes.
That's right.
And she is a hero for our time.
Yeah, and the kids really like that. They love that part of the story. And remember that time we went to the Sloop Club with the 4th graders?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And
wow.
we sang some songs from the American Revolution,
Right,
like some real songs.
Right.
And we sang Sybil Ludington.
That's great.
And we had one little girl, remember she was
dressed
up?
all
She
up
was so
in
cute.
Paris.
Oh, wow.
Here.
Yeah, I take
Yep.
busloads of kids around here, especially, you know, kids from Mayapack. And we go see the statue, we go to the mill. I mean, the history is right here. It's local.
Yep.
Okay, so that's great. Now, so are you available to go to schools, or you're going to be busy teaching?
Steve can go.
There you go.
Sure.
Yeah.
Love going to school.
You hear that?
Okay.
Sure. Love going
They
to
have
schools.
a song to sing.
Yep.
They have a story to tell.
Many songs.
It's a story you know, and a story that all of our 4th graders should know.
That's right.
So I just want to go to the writing end of this, because many of our listeners are writers. When do you write? How do you write? Is it this on computer? Do you write the words first? Does the tune come into your mind first? How does a songwriter think?
I think with me, I usually start with the words. And I'll start on paper. I would never just start typing a song
So
with
it's
a computer.
good old
It's
pen
got to
and
be
ink.
late at night. Everybody has to be asleep or just in their room.
That's when I write.
Except maybe my pets. My pets can be with me, but everybody else, they're done, you know, and I kind of have my guitar or piano nearby, and it starts on paper with pencil because I erase everything, and I get it wrong all the time.
I'm going to ask you the same way I ask people who speak 2 different languages. You speak piano and you speak guitar. When you first go from words to music, is it music? Is it to the piano or is it to the guitar? Whichever closest.
No, it depends. It depends. If it's going to be a song that has more than 3 or 4 chords, it'll have to be piano because I don't know that many on the guitar. So, you know.
Are you self-taught?
Yes.
Guitar?
Yeah,
Wow.
but not
Not piano. You actually had real lessons.
Oh yeah, sure. I went to college. I was a piano minor, sound recording major.
Wow.
So I had to play all the classical music and the scale.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was really fun.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Yeah.
So then you put the words together, and then after you put the words together, does the tune sort of develop in your brain somewhere?
Yeah, I just kind of start singing it. Like I'll start playing. Do you do that too? What do you do?
I'm actually the opposite.
You start with the melody?
Wow.
I do.
Wow. So you start with the melody and
pretty
then
much.
go to the music.
Almost
To the words.
99% of the time, yeah. Yeah, sure. I'm a groove guy.
Yeah, it's funny. That's one thing as a writing instructor that I've learned, that people are so different in their writing. You know, they all come from different ways, and they write at different times of the day. They write in different places, and I always urge my writers to do that. Try writing in the middle of the night. Try writing in the middle of the day. Try writing in the library, in the backyard, on the porch. Where and when you write can make a major difference. So then you start putting it all together, and pretty soon it comes.
Yeah, it turns into a song. And usually I cry then. I don't know why. My kids laugh at me. Like, she's at it
All
again.
right, I have a huge question. Where to now? Are you in the middle of a song? Are you ready? Where's the future? Do you have another song like almost done? Or?
Well, you know that I've been working on a book.
I know.
Right?
Yes, I do.
So
You're part of the Mayapack
I went one
writers
time,
group.
and his writers group is great. You should try it if you want to write anything.
Thank you.
So I haven't really been writing many songs this summer, although I'm going to record a vocal, I think, in
Just
the next couple
a
days.
couple words about the book you're doing. What is the book about?
It's about a school.
About a school. And it's
Write
a
what you
novel,
know.
right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's
Yep.
totally fiction, but wonderful, and it's coming along, and we hope that it's going to get out there and be a bestseller. The bad news that I have for you right now is that time is flying, and we're only minutes away. Are there actually a minute away? Any final words to our audience from either of you?
Say something.
Something.
Something works. If it feels good, do it.
Right.
Right.
Writers
Believe
have their
in
own
yourself.
thing. Sure, go with it. Change.
Yep.
Be open to change.
And don't let anyone tell you that you're not great, because you are. Continue to believe in yourself. And that's a message for you as well. Believe in yourself. If you think you can do it, do it. Don't let anybody tell you, yeah, that's not good. Believe in what you want to accomplish. Keep singing the songs. Keep singing Sybil songs. We can't thank you enough for being with us, for sharing this time with us. Thank you for joining us today. Best wishes to you. Best wishes to you. Keep reading, keep writing, and certainly keep singing. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Great.
Again, I'm going to ask you to just keep on singing.